what is up everyone? So we're going to be doing a double episode review for Dimension 10 and 11. For Vanguard, this is definitely a very interesting duo here because these two episodes worked really well together to actually introduce us to the Vanguard Caution, where all the teams actually were invited, were presented to everyone, and were actually shown their proper rooms, so that was definitely really cool. What I also liked was that they actually included Henri from Vanguard G into this as well, where he's actually in his own, I guess, where he lives, and he's actually watching through the TV as well. So this is definitely really interesting to see that, because if you guys actually watched Vanguard G, then you'll definitely understand or actually appreciate the scene where they actually showed Henri on this particular episode. So definitely really cool to see that and having a bit of things to link up. At the same time, I also like seeing a lot of familiar faces as well, so we get to see Yuri as well, originally from Team Season, the original series. We also get to see one of the members of Team Handsome from the original series as well, so it's definitely really cool to see that. At the same time, we also get a bit of more ultra rare in this particular case as well, where all the teams are actually staying at a specific sponsored place, obviously being provided by Gnome Tatsunagi. It was really awesome to see every single team, of course, Fukuhara, and of course there's Hitsue High as well. So definitely very interesting battles ahead of us here. With Miyagi's Cardfight Club, it was definitely really interesting seeing that the student council presidents or the student council were actually also participating in this as well, and were actually attending. So that was definitely quite interesting. Of course, we could see the connection with Corin here, and at this point we kind of expect that Corin will eventually reunite with the Cardfight Club again, so hopefully that does happen, because if it doesn't, it will be pretty disappointing. I mean, it didn't happen in the original series, but in this particular series, I definitely want to see that happen here. Same thing applies with Ultra Rare being able to get more screen time in this particular series, so hopefully that does happen. But in the meantime, things are definitely looking really good here. You know, they kind of like, I would say it's a misdirection where Kai was seemingly not interested in Vanguard, wasn't fully back into the game yet, and as a result he seemed kind of distressed, where he might actually be leaving the team. But of course it was revealed in episode 11 that Kai was simply just going off somewhere else because Miwa was actually just snoring too loudly, so he decided to work on his deck outside at a park instead. And it's cool to see that Miwa and Ibuki actually got involved into actually searching for Kai, and ultimately seeing the scene where all three of them were laughing again, just like they were when they were much younger. So it was really cool to see that. Just again, more character relationships is a lot more interesting here, because obviously with enough interaction we can understand things, we can definitely appreciate the character bonds as well. Given that we've already seen G, which is obviously set in the future after this, so really cool to see how they're actually trying to incorporate everything from G as well into this series. So at this point things are starting to hype up, and it seems like one of those typical arcs where I don't really think there's going to be any Dark Force or anything. It's definitely going to just be this tournament, and they're somehow going to try and establish a connection with Corin. I think by that it will definitely be a very straightforward but at the same time still interesting storyline to go through, and I think if they try to add in any other things, it might actually make it a little bit too complex and a bit messy. So right now things are on a really good track. We did get to see a fight between Kai and Aichi here. Thing is, I was really surprised by this. Like, I didn't like the way Aichi won. I mean, to be honest, Aichi should have lost that particular round. I mean, drawing into 2 heal triggers in a row, very unlikely. I mean, it was just really unfortunate there. I mean, I definitely thought Kai should have won that easily. I mean, if anything, Kai should have at least got 2 heal triggers as well on his attack, or rather on Aichi's attack, but unfortunately he didn't. So, not particularly happy about that particular fight there. But what can you do? I mean, at this point, Aichi is seemingly a lot stronger than he is in the original series. In this version, he seems to be kind of unstoppable. He seems to be just winning at everything. So not really enjoying Aichi's character at the moment. It seems kind of annoying to me. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this double episode review. I mean, both these episodes were filled with content, but at the same time, it was very straightforward because all of these major amounts of content were actually very closely related to each other. So it made things for a very interesting turn of events here, the interesting storyline setup, and hopefully this all goes well with no other external forces coming into it, like some kind of dark villain or anything like that. I definitely don't want to see something like that. Just a nice, more laid back arc where we actually just have a tournament between these different teams and everything like that. But that's just my thoughts, so tell me what you guys actually think about this. In the meantime, I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you next time.